I'm Vanessa Ruck, the girl on a bike, and today I'm going to be talking about the Honda XRE, and it might be a bike you've never even heard about, but is this the dream dual sport motorcycle? Let's find out. So here we have the XRE 300 Rally from Honda. Now this is possibly a bike you've not even heard about, and the reason is back in 2009 Honda Latin America built this bike, and it's actually only available here in South America. I'm here in Colombia and this is the bike of choice on a Big Little Rides all-female adventure. Now as I am out here riding for 10 days, I thought it would be only fair to give you a little bit of a summary and a review of what I thought of this bike and whether it is the perfect bike for you to ride when you come out here to South America. Unfortunately, if you're in the US, Europe, anywhere else in the world, it's not going to be a bike you can easily get your hands on because obviously it's only available here. So what is this bike? You're probably immediately thinking, is that a baby Africa twin? Pretty much is. There's some styling similarities. You've obviously got the classic red Honda colouring, but this is actually a 291cc miniature Africa twin, dual sport, and its big benefit I think I'd find with this, it gives you a whole load of confidence. It's a lot smaller. You're looking at 148 kilograms. It's smaller both in weight but also in seat height. So the seat height is 860. So if I quickly show you me getting on the bike, you'll see quite how immediately that's going to give you a lot of confidence if you're maybe a shorter rider wanting to build your confidence. I'm 169 centimeters tall, 69 centimeter inside leg, and I have a flat foot, both sides, bent knee, quite a slim standover height with that low seat height. Comfortable riding position. Now in Colombia for these 10 days we are doing a pretty broad mix of riding terrain, from a lot of the roads and the twisty stuffs to more rural off-road things. There's loads of landslides, and if you're thinking Colombia is dangerous, check out some of my other videos in this little Colombia series. I think the landslide is the biggest thing you've got to be worried about. Anyway, I'm loaded up with my luggage as well because we are living off the bikes for 10 days. So I've gone for the Endurostand bags. They are rackless, clip on and off really easily, and the tank bag. I think ideally the tank bag is a little bit big for the off-road stuff, but it copes. Back to the bike, because that's what we're here to talk about. This thing is putting out a whopping 25.1 horsepower, but it's enough to have fun. You definitely ride it like you stole it a little bit on the twisty roads. You're constantly dropping gears, pilling it up, giving it some revs on the stop. But I think the most important thing about that is that there's enough power to have fun. There's enough power to be able to have your luggage on and not feel like you're on a dead donkey. But there's also not too much power where it's going to get yourself in trouble. The bike comes with the protection that is going to help you again have more confidence. If you're going to drop it, you're less likely to hurt things. Doesn't have any bark buster grips, but that would be an easy addition because obviously levers are quite easily to break when you drop them. But you've got big engine frames, you've got a sump guard, got a pretty decent ground clearance for the sort of riding you'd be looking to do on this kind of dual sport. When it comes to the suspension, I'm actually quite impressed. This is not an enduro bike, and this is not a big, expensive, high-spec adventure bike. So you are going to hit some bumps and really know you've hit them, but it does suck up more than I was expecting, and you can ride with a pretty decent amount of pace knowing it's not going to suddenly spit you out for breakfast too dramatically. You kind of got to be a little bit mindful that you're on a baby dual sport adventure bike, and you know, you can't get on this bike and expect it to do what one of the big top spec bike does. But for an adventure around the most incredible country, buying extra coffee to shove into your panniers, it's definitely doing well. Wheel size, we've got an 18 and a 21. Quite a nice compromise for the road, off-road. You know, the big front wheel is going to roll over the rocks a little bit more easily, and I guess the key thing is the fact that it comes with a 50/50 tyre. So this is a Metzeler, doesn't blow me away with its amazing traction and grip, but again, it's an entry kind of level, perfectly capable tyre. We've been through some pretty slippy kind of landslidey stuff, hasn't faltered. What else can we say about this bike? Has luggage racks. I don't know if the luggage racks come as standard, but for these panniers that I've gone for, which are the Endurostand Blizzard, you don't actually need rack. Good for lifting the bike up in recovery as well, but if they're not on, there are some big grab rails on the back which makes it easier. Riding position is that as you'd expect from something in between an enduro bike and in a big adventure bike. So you're quite upright. It means you've got great view. You have got the capacity to put a tank bag on. Maybe not one quite this big. I bought the kitchen sink, but it gives you the options. What else do we want to say? It is fuel injected. It's one less thing to be worrying about. Good brakes. We're thinking about this bike being quite a good option for someone who's wanting to build confidence, maybe hasn't got loads of off-road experience. Having ABS is a good thing because it's going to help you out on some terrains, but the fact that you can't turn it off means for the more technical off-road is a bit annoying. So I guess what I always do with all the bikes I ride when they're designed to go on their side is demonstrate that you shouldn't be afraid to put them on their side. So lowering him down, he actually falls over quite nicely. Panniers are actually holding him up a little bit right now. But there's loads of ways to pick up a bike, work out what's good for your body. For my reconstructed hip, forwards is best, so engage the wheels, straight back, lift it up. At 149 kilos, really easy to recover if you're gonna get in trouble. And also for like the more technically riding, it's nice and agile, nimble to lean it around corners, get around rocks, etc. A whistle-stop tour of the XRE from Honda. Why Honda? Have you only launched it in Latin America? I don't know, because a lot of people ask me what's like a nice small entry-level bike to getting into ADV. Could be a really good option. Best way to find out is to get your bum in that seat, give it a go yourself, and if you're coming to South America, could be a great option for an adventure. I'm Vanessa Ruck, the girl on a bike. I'm going to get back saddled and carry on riding in Colombia. Woo!